This hour for you on Daybreak, a man is in custody after a woman was found dead in Republic yesterday. We've got the details on that story.
And federal lawmakers are back at the Capitol to discuss a national COVID relief deal. We'll have the latest details.
Also, we're going to get some colder weather very soon here. Springfield Public Schools is looking for volunteers for its clothing bank. We'll show you how you can help out. It's all ahead this hour on Daybreak.
Good morning and thanks for starting your Tuesday with us. Today is November 10th. I'm Jennifer Abreu.
And I'm Joe Morano. We just were talking donuts before we went to break. We talked donuts during the break. And it's about Krispy Kreme bringing out these caramel donuts,
yes,
right?
I like that.
Now, Beth Finello was in here. She loves talking about this. I got to let you know, Beth, they're out right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Already?
And also, they're only out for 2 weeks. That is what the Krispy Kreme website says. So get to the place.
What?
2 weeks, you have an option for these caramel donuts.
That's it?
That's
yeah. I wonder why they only have them for 2 weeks.
When things are limited, it's more exclusive.
Mm-hmm. You know? You feel more special when you eat the caramel donut.
Well, guess what I'll be doing tomorrow morning?
Done.
They open at 5:30. That hot light is on. So is mine. Bing. There it is. Okay, let's talk about the weather this morning. Mostly cloudy skies on satellite and radar. Starting to see some showers now develop along I-49. That's that cold front coming in. Springfield right now, we are warm, 64 degrees, south and east winds at 15 miles per hour. Still dry, a lot of us still dry. Everyone in the 60s this morning as you're heading out the door. That cold front hasn't quite made it here yet. Also pretty sticky. Our dew points are in the 60s. We've got those south and east winds at 5 to 20 miles per hour. 30 mile per hour wind gusts this morning will stay breezy throughout much of the day today. So you'll notice that we've got falling temperatures through the day. So when you head out the door, grab a jacket because you're going to need it by the time you're heading home today. We're going to drop back into the 50s through the afternoon. Some of us will have wet roads this morning. Some of us will have wet roads through lunchtime, and some of us through the PM commute, just depending on where that cold front is during those hours. I think here in Springfield, excuse me, that front makes it here by about lunchtime, okay? So we do top off in the 70s, but we've got those tumbling temperatures through the afternoon, which is why I gave today the grade of a D. So make sure you grab your rain jacket. And of course, the 4 things you don't want to leave without right now: your mask, your phone, your keys, and your wallet. We've got those showers moving in with that front. I've got your Veterans Day forecast and a more seasonal stretch for the rest of this week before more rain chances this weekend. We'll do all of that in 10 minutes.
A man is now in custody after a 42-year-old woman was found dead inside a Republic home yesterday in the 400 block of North Douglas Drive. Police haven't released her name nor a description of the cause of death, but it is being investigated as a homicide right now. There have not been any charges filed against the man. We're going to continue to update this, though, over on ozarksfirst.com.
And the Laclede County Sheriff's Office and the Missouri State Highway Patrol are investigating the murder of a 33-year-old Marshfield man. The body of Nathan Andrew Young was discovered Friday afternoon in a creek bed off of Kinfolk Road in Laclede County. He was reported missing on November 4th. He had not been seen or heard from since October 25th. The cause of death is undetermined right now, but the condition of the body indicates homicide. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Laclede County Sheriff's Office.
The election happened a week ago today, and statewide elected officials in Missouri are already back to work, currently talking special session to discuss a budget. Missouri Capitol Bureau reporter MANLEY is in Jefferson City with the details on this.
Committee hearings of all kinds lasted hours Monday. Besides the budget, which is why lawmakers are back here in Jefferson City for a special session, they also discussed police reform and what should be done when the General Assembly returns again in January.
Exactly. To my point. So we're slowing air to the brain.
No, sir.
It's a controversial topic across the nation.
Because I think everyone can agree that we need some sort of reform to help increase people's confidence in law enforcement, as well as to hold anybody in law enforcement who shouldn't be there, who's doing the wrong thing, to hold them accountable.
Representatives listened as witnesses testified for and against police reform.
I'm hearing things today that are concerning because we're not using the kind of discretion that I would like for us to use as humans, not law officers dealing with the general public, just as humans.
Some witnesses said the chokehold should be allowed.
I think it's vital that we keep it in the system at a less than lethal force level. That level of a technique should be restricted to the deadly force situations.
Others said no-knock warrants need to be justified.
and come to the prosecutor and the judge and basically say, hey, here's what we're looking at. This could be high risk, and you need to know that. And it should be laid out. There should be a plan of entry, all those types of things that should go with that.
Now, no legislation came out of Monday's hearing. Instead, lawmakers wanted to hear from witnesses on bills that they should propose when they return for a regular session in January. Reporting for our Missouri Capitol Bureau, I'm Emily Manley.
And committees in this special session are also working on distributing more CARES Act funding across the state. Yesterday, representatives in the Budget Committee spent more than 5 hours working on the $1.2 billion legislation. The issue for the special session right now is the December 31st deadline they have to spend the federal CARES Act money. Currently, the state's budget director says counties across the state have only spent about a quarter of $520 million.
We're not encouraging them not to spend it. We just, if they don't, we don't want that money to then have to go back to the feds. We'd like to be able to spend it in Missouri. Appropriation authority that gives us more flexibility than normal, and we wouldn't be asking for this kind of stuff if this was any kind of normal budgeting situation.
The House Budget Committee passed the bill, and representatives are expected to vote on the bill today. And then the legislation will need to be voted on by the Senate.
Nationally, federal lawmakers are on Capitol Hill for more talk of a COVID relief deal, among other things. Negotiations have produced nothing over the last several months, even though both parties are still hoping for something before the new year. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is calling on Republican leadership to return to the table for that. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying he won't accept the $2 trillion plan that she is pushing.
I hope our Democratic colleagues will finally put aside their all-or-nothing obstruction.
We have a responsibility to find our common ground.
Joe Biden is coming up with his own plan of action, launching a transitional coronavirus team yesterday focused on preparing to ramp up testing, contact tracing, and protective gear following his inauguration. And new for you this morning, Springfield Public Schools PTA Clothing Bank is in need of volunteers. Nyjah McDonald joins us now to explain how you can help continue that mission. Nyjah.
Yeah, Joe, well, good morning. Each school year, the Clothing Bank serves more than 2,000 students within SPS, thanks to donations and volunteers who keep the bank running. The Springfield Schools Clothing Bank is available to K through 12 students who qualify for free and reduced lunch.
Or if you have a need, you're welcome to shop here as well. It is 100% free and 100% volunteer and donation based.
Mandy Mitchell serves as president of the Springfield Council of PTAs, which runs the clothing bank.
When a child comes in, they can pick the clothing that appeals to them, that makes them feel important and proud. So when they walk into school, they're comfortable and they're 100% ready to learn.
Mitchell says the pandemic has increased the need for their service.
This is by far the busiest year that we have seen. The need is greater than any year that I have been here at the clothing bank. I've been here for about 5 years.
Donations and volunteers are essential at meeting this need.
They're the ones who help us sort through the clothes, who help us get the clothes on the racks.
Taryn Radell is also a part of Springfield Council of PTAs.
They make the place run. Volunteers make the place run. There's no paid positions or anything, so we really rely on them.
Your student ID or lunch number is the only paperwork you need to shop at the clothing bank.
5 tops, 3 bottoms, any holiday wear that we might have, pajamas, shoes, and you get new socks and underwear once each semester.
The women say they are in need of winter wear, including boys and girls coats in all sizes. Well, donations can be dropped off at any wash house location in Springfield. And to volunteer, just visit the group's website, Facebook page at the PTA Clothing Bank.
Thanks, Nyjah. We're starting off this morning with warm conditions. Everybody's in the 60s this morning. We make it into the 70s before a cold front moves in, drops our temperatures through the afternoon, and brings us some shower chances. We'll do more on that right after the break. Don't go anywhere.